Wrestling fans, we are live here from Knoxville, Tennessee with Inside Wrestling Truth. And we have a very special interview tonight with Destiny Lynn, news reporter from Knoxville, Tennessee. And we have a few questions we're going to ask her tonight. So let's get right into those questions. First off, Destiny, what school did you go to for communications?
I actually went to Arizona State University. I majored in journalism and mass communications.
How long have you been working in Tennessee?
After I got my master's, I started working for local stations around Knoxville for a short time, but eventually I just grew bored with how monotonous the work was, so I wanted to be a part of something a little bit more edgy.
Cool. What led you to want to do wrestling interviews?
I wasn't initially interested in the current wrestling scene at all until I researched the inner workings of the business and found that it's not just storylines. It's about the athleticism and the passion that's held by the people who are a part of it, especially in indie wrestling where, you find it's not a job, it's a way of life.
Yeah, Tennessee is a huge, huge wrestling state, and they're very passionate about the wrestling in Tennessee.
Yeah.
What was your first wrestling interview like with Inside Wrestling Truth?
Well, of course, I got to interview you, and it renewed my faith in the business to associate with people who knew what they were talking about, and I just thought that that's what the business should be about completely.
And I really appreciate you giving me my first break, or giving me my first interview, because it really, really helped me out.
Well, it helped me too.
Okay. Manager Father Fear has said some terrible things about you. Would you want to talk about it?
Yeah, we can go ahead and talk about it.
Father Fear says you're a fake reporter and your work is sloppy. What do you have to say about that?
Although he's entitled to his incredibly uneducated opinion, I just have to disagree with him.
Yeah, because he's an ass.
Yeah, I heard.
What were your thoughts on him saying you need to go back to school?
Well, considering I got my master's at school doing exactly what we've been doing, I can't say that I agree, considering the fact that I have a very hard time believing he went to school at all.
That's what I'm saying. He's got a lot of nerve to talk about anybody going to school. Is it true you want to interview Father Fear and he wouldn't let you?
No, that is not true. I've not been stalking him or trying to plead with him to get an interview. To be totally honest, I probably wouldn't really waste my time unless something really important came up. Or if I really just wanted to get back at him.
Yeah, because he kind of walks around like everybody owes him something and everybody wants to meet him and he's some god to the wrestling world. And
yeah, I saw your interview with him.
Dude just needs to wake up.
Yeah.
Father Fear said, you have no business doing interviews and are stupid. What's your thoughts on that?
Man, that's actually kind of a tough one. I feel like I do have business doing interviews. I thought the interview that we did was really good, and I have a ton more lined up because of that. I love to be in the scene. I love to learn about the business, and as far as me being stupid, that's again just his pathetic opinion, and I'm just not even worried about that.
What's your thoughts on Father Fear saying your interviews are embarrassing?
He should probably be embarrassed of himself, considering he goes around talking to people like crap and undermining people and totally degrading people and even occasionally the wrestling business. And I think my interviews should be at least the least of his worries.
I mean, if you want to talk about embarrassing, I mean, his work is embarrassing. I mean, the man can barely walk up the steps or get through the ropes. You know, that's what's embarrassing. If you have one word to describe Father Fear, what would it be?
One word, I guess, is difficult. I guess I could say psychotic. However, I think that he portrays that enough that it should be blatantly obvious. I guess egomaniacal is probably a good one.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. You can't just have one word. You can have thousands of words for his dumb ass.
It's kind of hard to narrow it down in such a small realm.
If you seen Father Fear in public, what would you say to him?
Well, I have a hard time believing we would be anywhere near each other, but I probably would not give him the satisfaction of responding to him or saying anything in general. It would probably just boost his ego to let him think that he got under my skin, which is far from the truth.
I wouldn't say anything to him either. I'd just bust him in his fucking mouth.
Well, I hope you see him.
What do you think Father Fear's biggest problem is with your work?
Well, considering that he thinks that he's preaching the truth and everybody should listen to his sermons and that he is the way, like portraying himself kind of in the same way Jesus did. I'm not sure. I'm also trying to get the truth out, but in a different way. Therefore, I always thought it was two sides of the same coin, and apparently that's not at all how he felt.
My personal opinion is I think he's just jealous of you because he's not as intelligent or as smart as you are.
Thanks. You should tell him that.
Oh, there ain't gonna be no telling when I see him. He knows it. Father Fear said you need to follow his words of wisdom. What do you think about that?
I'm not sure how much wisdom is behind his words, so I'm just going to go ahead and let that one go.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what kind of wisdom he would be.
How to grow a beard.
Yeah, that's about it. You know.
He's pretty good at that.
Don't wear nut huggers.
Does he do that?
Yeah.
I haven't noticed.
I think he does it for Jimmy. I'm not real sure.
I do like Jimmy, though.
Which wrestler do you enjoy the most to watch work?
That would be Jimmy Felcher. And a lot of good guys in the indies. Isaiah, Pondo, Simon Says. I like the hardcore matches.
What about maybe say TNA or WWE?
TNA should not even be on the air, especially considering the incredible amount of talentless skanks that they have. As for WWE, I do like people who have been there for a while and who still go strong, like Jericho and people like that.
Well, Destiny, it's like I said before, I really enjoy you bringing me into your home and letting me conduct this interview with you. And I really appreciate you giving me my first break on an interview. And it's always a pleasure to see you. I consider you a friend. and you will always be part of the Inside Wrestling Truth family.
I am privileged.
And, like we say,
get your money and pay your bills. Peace.